Oh, these bins. These bins can sometimes be the bane of my existence. Yes, I know. That's probably a little dramatic, but these things, they have been very useful and they have served a purpose for a while, but the handles are all starting to break off. They're just kind of flimsy. So we're going to work on a remedy for this. We're gonna remedy this situation today. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is so good to see you all. I hope this finds you well and happy. I'm looking forward to spending some time together today. We're gonna work on a much needed project, a much needed remedy project. So if you are stopping by for the very first time, welcome. I'm so excited to have you join us. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. It's so nice to meet you and so nice to have you join my little YouTube community. Okay, y'all, so today we are gonna be working, like I said, on a little honeydew project. So if you've been with me for a while, y'all are probably very familiar with my little wine cubby area. And I have this shelving unit here that has all these nice little cubbies on the very bottom. But I've been using these, the cloth bins for a very long time. They've been well used, they've served a good purpose, but they're starting to just fall apart. They're getting flimsy, and the handles are breaking. I've even had one actually break. So I think it is time to remedy this situation. We are going to work on creating some permanent drawers, more like a wooden drawer, so that they'll be a lot more sturdy, a lot more secure. This is going to be fun. I'm excited to work on this project. So without further ado, let's head out to the shop and get started. Okay, so the very first step with this project was, of course, kind of coming up with a design, which we decided on this to keep the design very, very simple. We are literally just going to make some boxes, and we are going to use plywood to do this. So the first thing we have to do is get everything cut to size, get all of our pieces cut to the proper sizes. So Michael is going to lend me a helping hand with that because I'm still trying to gain confidence with the table saw. Me and the table saw are still not friends. I'm still a little bit afraid of it, but I am getting better and I'm starting to use it a little more and more. But I did ask Michael if he would come out and help me with this. So being the sweet guy that he is, he jumped in and helped me with all the cutting. Now that we have all the pieces cut out, we can go ahead and start assembling. And this is the part that I'm the most excited for because I just love to see all these pieces of wood come together and actually make something. I love the whole process of just seeing the whole thing come together. So now we're going to jump in and start assembling. Michael did help me with the very first one just to show me how to do it, give me a little confidence to make sure that I could do this on my own. And then I jumped in and assembled the rest of the boxes. After assembly, we'll get them prepared and ready for the pulls.
After getting all of the pieces cut, we laid out our first box in a T pattern like this so that we could know exactly what pieces are going to connect to one another. So we're going to start by connecting the front panel to a side panel. And we are using some wood glue, and then we come in with some brad nails just to reinforce all of this while the wood glue is setting up. Plus it just gives it a lot of extra hold. Next, we will come in with the second side panel and repeat that entire process. this is where I took over. So Michael built that first box and now I have set to work building the second one. So again, I am just attaching the front piece to the two side pieces. Next, I will come in with the bottom piece, and I do want to make sure that I have glue on three sides of this, the three sides that are going to be in contact with the wood pieces, that front panel and the two side panels. And then again, I just come in and reinforce this with some brad nails, and then I will go ahead and glue on the final panel, which will be the back panel. And now we get to repeat that entire process 2 more times. I finally got the last of the boxes assembled. So now I'm just coming in and sort of cleaning up any of that excess glue from the squeeze out. And then of course, as with every single woodworking project, there is the sanding. So I did sand all 4 of these boxes, and as I was sanding, I did knock off some of those sharp edges and sort of gave them a slight round over. After getting all of the boxes sanded, I did come in to just the front panel. I only did this to the front panel, the piece that's going to be showing. I came in and puttied all of the nail holes. We did use a brad nailer on this, but you can still see those holes, and I didn't want them to shine through or show through at all. So I came in and filled each one of them with some spackling putty. I didn't have any wood putty, so I just used this and it worked like a charm. After letting that filler set up for a couple of hours, I did come in and sand off any of the excess just to get this ready and prepared for painting.
Okay, so we now have all of our boxes assembled, and the next step now is to go ahead and get them ready and prepared for the pulls. And I just let Michael run with this because he is really good at doing all the math, and me, not so much. So Michael's just gonna get all the holes drilled for me for the pulls so that after they're painted, all I have to do is screw the pulls right on.
Here Michael is just working his math magic, getting all the measurements done so that we can get these pulls centered on the front of the box. And we did come down from the top of the box about 3 inches that we came down from the top. I didn't want the pulls to be dead center on this box because I just thought that would look a little weird. So we came down 3 inches from the top and then centered the pull from side to side. After getting all of the measurements done, we marked where we wanted the pulls to be and then came in and drilled the holes for the screws. And one thing that we ran into with this, after we drilled the holes, we did do a dry fit. And one thing that we ran into here is the screws that came with these pulls were a smidge too long. So Michael's genius fix for this was to just take them over to the grinder and grind them all down. So here we're just continuing to do that dry fit. This is where we realized that the screws were too long. So now we'll just run them over to the grinder and grind these down to the appropriate length or the proper length. This step is kind of fun for me because we just kind of had our own fireworks show going on in the shop. So after Michael got that first one ground down, we did do another dry fit. They fit perfectly, and so he just set about grinding down all the rest of the screws for our drawer pulls. Now we are just going to go ahead and get the rest of our boxes, the remainder of our boxes, ready and prepped for the pulls. So Michael's just going to go ahead and get all the measuring done, and then he will come back in and drill all the holes.
Okay, now we get to start painting. And most of the time I really enjoy the entire painting process, but for whatever reason, I'm not feeling overly excited to paint these. It's feeling more like a chore, but there's nothing to do at this point but just jump right in and get to painting. So I'm using black paint. I thought the black would be really pretty with the whole little wine cubby. I thought that just that little pop of contrast with the wine cubby will be really pretty. And I will put the paint color and the paint brand that I use down in the description box for y'all. Okay, well, we better just get to it, because if I keep procrastinating, these things are never gonna get painted.
Ideally, I would like to have rolled this paint onto these boxes because it would have been so much faster, but I did not have a small roller. I only had just great big giant ones, and I think that would have just been cumbersome. So I decided to go ahead and paint it on with a brush. I am using a very fine brush to do this because the softer your brush is, the less amount of, or the least amount of brush strokes you're going to get. So I do cover all of the boxes completely inside and out, and then I let that dry for a while and came back in and did a second coat. The boxes have all now been painted with the second coat, and now I just need to let this set up and dry. So once it's dry, I can go ahead and start assembling the pulls. And this part is so easy because Michael actually did the hard part for me by doing all the measuring and all of the pre-drilling. So literally all I have to do at this point is come in and screw each one of these in. And this was a little fiddly, you know, I had to line everything up perfectly and then screw it in from the inside of the box, but it wasn't too difficult. It went very smoothly. One thing I did learn with these pulls is you definitely do not want to tighten them. You don't want to over tighten them, and I do recommend using a screwdriver versus a drill motor to do this step. I am really liking the way these pulls are looking with these drawer boxes. I especially like that pop of gold. It just looks so pretty. So I will try to have these exact same pulls linked in the description box for y'all in case you are interested in these same ones.
Okay, so our boxes have been painted, the pulls have been on, and I got so excited about installing them and cleaning out all the other bins and just getting some organization done that I forgot to film all of that. So now y'all just get to jump straight to the fun part of seeing it all put together. Alrighty friends, well that is it for this project. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this and that it gave you a little bit of inspiration. If you've got some cubbies in your house that you use for organization or storage and you just want to take them to the next level, this is an easy way to create some really pretty drawers to fill your cubby spaces. I love how these turned out. I feel like it really elevated the entire space and just gave my whole entire little wine cubby a more sophisticated look. So I'm loving it. I love how everything turned out. Okay, friends, well, like I said, that is it for today. So I will see you all again next week. We are going to start jumping into all things fall. It is that time. And I love the fall. The fall is actually one of my most favorite times of the year. I love decorating for fall. I love DIYing for fall. I love everything about fall. I love the cooler days. The only thing I don't necessarily like is the shorter days, but I do love just all the nice, warm, cozy feels of fall. So come back and see me again next week because we're jumping into fall. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, y'all take care and I will see you soon. Bye.